Today we're going to discuss how to feel better when you miss someone. Whether it's a spouse, a boyfriend or girlfriend, a best friend, or even your child that you're missing, this video can help you feel better fast while simultaneously helping you level up some empowering life skills for the future. Ready to feel better now? Let's get started. I decided to make this video today on the topic of how to feel better when you're missing someone because this is something I'm personally being challenged by at the moment. When someone that you care about very much is absent in your life, their absence can feel as though it's left a giant hole in your heart. It can be even more difficult to deal with if you were accustomed to seeing this person regularly or on a daily basis. This absence can feel so overpowering and so overwhelming at times that it can become completely debilitating to our lives. When we miss someone, we may withdraw from others and sink within into our loneliness and sadness. Something as simple as hearing a song or watching a TV show which reminds us of the one we miss can send us into an emotional tailspin. In extreme cases, food can begin to lose its taste, and basic bodily necessities such as eating and sleeping can become problematic, if not outright impossible. Some of us even experience occasional panic attacks, almost as though our emotions overpower us unexpectedly and we're unable to find our way back to a calm, balanced state. So when we're missing someone we love really bad and we can't seem to get them off our minds, what can we do about it? How can we go from feeling depression and despair to hope and happiness? There are two key steps to take in order to feel better when you miss someone. And I have to admit, I did everything disastrously wrong before finally reaching these conclusions. Or maybe more accurately, I should refer to them as epiphanies. But just to be clear, I've been in that place where I've experienced panic attacks. I've had sleepless nights and eventually had to take medication just to quiet my mind enough to sleep. I've felt those overwhelming waves of fear that come out of nowhere and threaten to floor you on the spot. And I know that feeling when the lump in your throat is so overpowering, it feels as though it's going to choke you. I share this because I want you to know I've been through all of that, and I came out the other end okay. And here is what worked for me. The first thing you have to do in order to feel better when you miss someone is begin to manage your mind.
What you talking about, Willis?
Now, you may be asking yourself what managing your mind has to do with anything that we're discussing here. After all, it's our feelings that we're struggling with, not our minds. However, when you begin observing your mind, what you will find is that your mind is replaying painful thoughts over and over again. And those thoughts are what is causing your emotional pain. It took me a long time to reach this realization, years in fact. And I would be remiss if I didn't point out that this is not a belief I'm holding about the situation, but rather something which has become clear to me as a result of my experiences. In the past, I tried masking my hurt with medication, alcohol, and other mental distractions. But ultimately, what I came to realize was that I was merely dulling my pain while waiting for it to one day go away. Surely, I thought, there must be a better solution than this. When we begin to manage our minds, thought holds less sway over us. As you watch your mind more and more often, you gradually learn to observe your thoughts rather than react to them. With practice, our self-awareness eventually moves ahead of thought, and we're able to release or let go of any potentially painful thoughts just as they initially begin to arise. We become calmer, more steady, more at ease, and more happy. Now, let me be clear that what we're discussing here is not denial or avoidance of what's happening. Instead, we're taking a step back and reevaluating our mental processes in this instance. Does repetitive thinking serve me? Is there a way to let go of excessive thought? Am I certain that I must replay all of this pain? These are the questions we ask ourselves during introspective moments and search them thoroughly for truth. So as we cultivate the skill of observing our thoughts, we find those painful moments of fear or loss occur internally much less frequently and with less severity as well. The more we practice the skill, the more skilled we become in this regard. And it's worth noting that this is a powerful spiritual practice that comes with many other unlockable gifts as well. And the fastest, most effective way to develop this skill? Meditation. Number 2, in conjunction with meditating/observing your thoughts, the second step to take in order to feel better when you miss someone is to immediately engage in self-care. Now, self-care may be a foreign concept to most of us. It's not something that's introduced to us during school, and our parents were likely never exposed to this idea. In fact, our cultural narrative really makes no inclusion for self-care at all. Some may have even previously seen the idea of self-care as a weakness. Self-care means precisely what the words state: caring for one's self. So while the person you love may not presently be here, ask yourself, who is looking out for your internal state? Do you realize that you are supposed to love you? Not in a narcissistic or unhealthy sense, of course, but you are supposed to feel love inside for yourself. As we begin to explore this new concept of self-care, we learn more about ourselves and our unexplored potential. For example, when you're laying in bed listening to a sad song, crying, ask yourself, are you taking care of your emotional needs in this moment? Your sadness is certainly here. Now that we've acknowledged it, can it be released and let go? Might a hot bath or a warm cup of tea help you to feel better?
So you feeling better?
Not really.
Sheldon, you have a guest who's upset.
Right, I'll make tea.
Oh, sweetie, it's okay. I don't want tea.
I'm sorry, it's not optional.
Is there a funny movie you could watch that might help uplift your spirits? Are you being loving toward yourself right now? Is there room, perhaps, to treat yourself even better? In this moment, what could you do to take better care of you? When we explore and engage in self-care, we discover that we are there for ourselves during painful moments or intense emotional bouts. This is not a negative response toward the other party, but rather a loving knowing within that you are there for yourself. The pain may still show on occasion, but when we care very deeply about how we feel, we're much less likely to surrender our happiness to sadness. Self-care reminds us to let go of thoughts which do not serve us, and that our emotional well-being matters. And one of the most amazing things you'll discover about self-care is the feeling it grants you when you know that no matter how bad things may get, you will always be there for you. These two key principles of managing our minds and exercising self-care deal with the challenge of missing someone at a fundamental level. Out of all the things I've personally tried in order to overcome this particular pain, these two concepts are the only strategies which have offered any real, tangible, sustainable relief. They've helped me tremendously, and if you apply them in your life, they'll do the same for you. If you feel that this video provided value, please click the like button and be sure to subscribe as well in order to receive future content. Know that I've been where you are and I know how it feels. I truly hope from the bottom of my heart that this video helps you in some way to feel better. Please comment below and let us know how you're feeling. Try to let go of your sadness. Know that this too shall pass. And I look forward to talking to you in the next video.